Hey friends, my name is Christina, and today I'm so excited. I have Molly Asplin on. She is so inspiring. She is the founder of Happy Fit Mom and host of the Dream It, Do It podcast. Molly is an expert on health habits for busy moms and with little ones. So she also hosts, monthly virtual boot camps, which are super fun. I've done them before. She's a 15-star diamond coach with Beachbody. She's really a do-it-all kind of gal. I'm excited to have her on and pick her brain on her tips and tricks of what she does to stay motivated and successful. So before we get into it, tell me a little bit about your background and how you got to where you are today.
Awesome. Thanks, Christina. I'm super happy, honored to be here. So let's see. I actually have a background. My college degree is in accounting. But on the side of accounting, I was always doing fitness things. So I'm certified for group fitness and personal training. And so after I got out of college and did, my corporate career in accounting, I was doing some of this on the side. And I'm like, I really like the health and fitness space, but I don't want to spend all day in a gym. Like I like it as more of a lifestyle and like a life-giving thing. I didn't necessarily just want to like train people all day, every day.
And pay it forward.
Yeah, pay it forward. And I was always working on it myself too. So I've always had this approach to fitness on, okay, I want to do it with other people. And sure, maybe I'm a couple steps ahead of people, but I didn't necessarily want to be the expert. I wanted to be the guide because it's just doing it alongside people, I think is super imperative. And I think it's often the missing piece because for so long, I just did it alone. And I did marathons alone and I went to group fitness classes alone. And although I loved the support and the energy once I was there, I just think that women especially need other like-minded women in their court doing it too. Mm-hmm. So when virtual coaching fell into my lap, it just made a lot of sense. And I was like, this is like, I feel like I can reach the masses with this because it makes a lot of sense. I was really focused on mind and body. Mm-hmm. So when I had that switch, it's like a lot of things just clicked for me. And then I got the fitness results that I wanted to. So yeah, now I've been coaching full-time for about 3 years. I've been coaching for 6 years, and I've been doing it full-time for about 3 years. So I have two little girls, Kate and Claire. Kate is 3 and Claire is 1. And then I'm married to my husband, Steve. So, I'm in that season of life where probably a lot of your listeners and followers are too, just moms of littles.
Yeah, so. No, it's hard. I mean, so I met you about 3 years ago. You slid into my DMs when I had my first son, Cole. Yeah. And I was working out. I've always used Beachbody, and you asked me to be a coach. And my answer back to you was, I always give up on myself. I'm not going to be able to do it. I give up on myself. That was my old narrative of my life. Pushing forward, new year 2022, I'm going to change that narrative. And I'm sure a lot of other women want to change that narrative as well. So what advice can you give to women who feel like they just always kind of like give up on themselves? Or what do you do to stay motivated every day, to show up for yourself for business, to show up for yourself in the gym, and to show up for yourself mentally? What can you tell us about that?
Well, Christina, I call that the false start mentality. Mm-hmm. And what we have to know is that everybody has that. So I think that we have this like misconception of, I'm going to start this new routine that I've always wanted myself to do, and I'm just going to stick with it finally. Mm-hmm. And it's like, that's just not how it works. Like it is constantly like a little bit of a roller coaster. Like even for me, still I have my roller coaster moments, but I can always return to my straight line. And so I always tell my gals that I'm working with, like, you're going to have your moments of deviation, but you just get really good at like course correcting back to your consistent line.
How do you define your consistent line? Like, what's that definition to you? How can someone define that for themselves?
That's the things that you want yourself to be doing. Like that's like your 30-minute workout, or eating clean 90% of the time, or getting in your water, getting in 7 hours of sleep. Those are like your consistent line is the things that you want yourself to be doing. Mm-hmm. But we just can't have this false expectation that we're going to be on that consistent line 100% of the time. Because I think that's where people go awry. They're like, see, I said I wanted to do it and now I didn't do it again. And it's like, well, that's fine, but there's always tomorrow,
Yeah.
and it's not waiting until the next year or the next month or even the next week. It's like, I just course correct really quickly.
Yeah. And I also think too, it's giving yourself grace,
Mhm.
and not beating yourself up, because we tend to do that, because I'm on this journey myself. And I sometimes I can't show up every day. There's a time, you know what I mean? And like I'll miss my workout one day, but I'll make up for it the next day. And yeah, sometimes I feel bad about myself when I'm not showing up for myself, but I have to also realize that I'm a human and it's okay to be imperfect. It's okay to stumble, like you said, from your line direction.
Yeah.
So I totally understand what you mean with that. And so, what's like the best advice, speaking of that, that you can give to a busy mom with littles on how to stay on track? What are the best tip management things that you have? I know you have some tricks up your sleeve because you are a do-it-all woman, and I see you consistently showing up for yourself. And I know
Yeah.
how hard it is to do that when you have two little ones. So,
Yeah, it
how
is.
can we? Go ahead.
I love that you said give yourself grace, Christina, because I'm always giving myself grace. And
Mhm.
actually, that's really when I started to get good at this, is when I stopped being so hard on myself, which is counterintuitive to a lot of us, because they're like, we have this mentality of, oh, I just need to be so rigid. I need to do all the things. And it's like, I give myself grace a lot. And I'm like, well, I'll try again next time, and that's when it made it easier and simpler. So my best advice is to start simple and start small. I always tell the women that I'm working with, if you can, start with a 20-minute workout 3 times a week. Like if
Mhm.
that seems like a tangible goal for you, start there. If, maybe you are trying to work out 5 times a week. Okay, well then sure, start there, but just know that it is going to ebb and flow. But you're constantly going to evolve to that place you want to get to. So start small, start simple, and don't try to bite it off all at once, because
Mhm.
that's challenging.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel you on that. So kind of switching gears a little bit, who and like what inspires you?
Hmm. Oh, that's a really good question. Um, I do have like women online that I follow and like mentors that I listen to via podcasts. And I think that all really inspires me. But what inspires me most is I'm always thinking about the type of person that I want to become. And so I have this, I call it a power life script. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of that, but
No, I haven't. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
yeah, it's a mindset concept. And so I have this like 5 minute basically vision for my life recorded on my phone in just voice memo on my iPhone. And I play it every morning right when I get up. And it just talks about the type of woman that I want myself to be. Like I'm a calm, positive, present mom. I take care of myself. I give myself grace. I have like some business goals in there, and just honestly how I want to show up every day. And it's all in present tense.
Mhm.
And there's a line out there like, if you want to do it, you have to become it first. And
Mhm.
I think so often we're just focusing on like doing, doing, doing. But it is actually a mindset of like, if I want to be that type of mom or that type of woman, I need to be it and believe it. And so I've really rewired my beliefs on like who I want myself to become. And so I show up as her,
Yeah.
like first thing in the morning. And then it gets me to do those things, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. It sounds a little whoopy doopy, but I swear it
No,
works.
I mean, I'm all about vision boards and all that
Yes.
stuff, like in creating what you want for yourself. And you have to think it in order to be it. Because if
Yes.
your mind is actually way more powerful than people give credit to, and what
Yes.
you think is what you're putting out and is what you receive. So it totally makes sense to me, but it's also a new kind of way. I haven't heard about like the voice memo thing. It's another cool little trick to do besides, maybe like getting a big vision board out and putting it
Yeah.
on your wall. So anything that someone can do that's easily to, something of inspiration comes in, they can take out their phone, put the little voice memo
Yep.
and that.
And I usually write it out just with pen and paper. You want to be like really relaxed when you do that.
Mhm.
And, you can write out like the different areas of your life. Maybe it's how you want to be in your family, your career, your faith, health and fitness, if that's a core value of yours.
Mhm.
And then I do update mine about quarterly.
Okay.
But I listen to it every day, sometimes twice a day, because the repetition of it is also really important. And I think vision boards are a great thing, but what would happen to me is I would spend all this time making this vision board, and then it would be like on my phone screen or something, and it just kind of got forgotten. But when
Mhm.
I'm like first thing in the morning before I go into the monkey mind of like the news and social media and all of the things, I just like listen to that voice memo like while I'm drinking my first cup of water, and I'm like, okay, here we go, like level set, like
That's
let's do it.
great.
So repetition is really important.
That's awesome. So also, what is something you wished you knew when you were younger?
Mm. Uh, like, well, one, to not sweat the small stuff. Like I just really don't get, I'm gonna say butt hurt or bent out of shape about the little things anymore. And I used to be very type A and very perfectionist, and everything had to go according to plan. And I think motherhood helps you with that some, because you can't,
Yeah.
you can't control everything. But
Yeah.
I just, I think I would tell the old Molly, like, just don't be so hard on yourself, and like let things go. And I guess sometimes they're big, sometimes they're small, but I've really taught myself how to stay in control of myself.
Yeah.
When the world around us is kind of crazy and there's a lot going on, you can still control yourself.
Mhm.
And that has been something that has just changed the game for me. Like
Yeah.
I am still in control of me and my thoughts and how this day goes.
Mhm. You pick and choose your battles. You
Exactly.
got to navigate what's worth fighting and what's worth just rolling off your shoulders.
Yes.
And also, what is an essential part of your daily routine?
The morning. So the morning routine. And I'll go into it just a bit. I have a whole podcast on what I exactly do, but I get up at like 5:15 before my kids usually wake up at like 6:45. So,
Mhm.
I have like a good hour and a half before my kids wake up. And that is just huge for me. And
Yeah.
this is something I've been working on, over the course of 5 years, but now it's so part of me that I do it on the weekends. I do it on vacation, because it's
Yeah.
just like I show up so much better if I can have that time for me, just to set the foundation for the day, off my phone, off the screens. And so what I do is I usually journal gratitude. I write down 5 things I'm thankful for right now, and 5 things I'm thankful for as my future self. And that kind of like manifests and puts you in that future state. And
Mhm.
then I usually read like 20 minutes of a self-development book while I drink my pre-workout. Right now I'm reading The One Thing by Gary Keller. It's really good.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. And so I usually read self-development because it just gets the right thoughts in my mind.
Mhm.
Otherwise, I'm like any other human. I think we just, we're wired to go to the negative, to like
Totally.
protect ourselves. And so I just like have programmed myself to, nope, I'm not going there. Like I'm starting the day like this. And then I do a workout, like 20 to 30 minute at home workout. And then as I'm finishing my workout, that's when my kids are waking up. And I am just like such a better human, like a
Oh my
better
gosh.
mom,
When I get
better
my
wife.
workout, yeah, sorry. But when I get my workout in, I know what you mean. It totally levels me up in terms of my mood. I feel like I can conquer more in the day. When I get
Yes.
it done in the morning, I feel like I'm an A plus Christina.
Yeah, I
When I
know
get
what
it
you
done
mean.
in the evening, I still feel like an A, but it
Yep.
just it's not as exciting to do it. I'm so tired at the end of the day sometimes.
Yeah. And
But
it's more challenging for our willpower too, especially as moms. It's like, oh, now I have to work out after all that.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. And then I guess what's the best advice you've ever received?
Mm. When I was working at my corporate job, and I was never super passionate about my corporate job, and I wanted to be, because I'm just the type of person where it's like, I want to feel passionate about whatever I'm doing. And the best advice I got was I sat down with one of my corporate mentors, and who I really looked up to. She was like 50 years old. And I'm like 25 at the time. And I said, do you think you can cultivate passion for anything? Like, can I cultivate passion for this job that I'm not really loving? I like it and I can be good at it, but I don't, I didn't feel that spark. And she just looked me straight in the eye and she's like, no, I don't think you can. And she said, I think you can find bits and pieces that you're gifted at and that you're good at, and you can do more of those. But if you don't have natural passion for something, like you can't force it. And so I really like let that sink in. And it's not like I up and quit my job that day, but that's when I knew I was going to go create something that brought me passion.
Yeah.
So that's the best advice I ever received.
I think that's great advice. I mean, you want to do what you love, and when you do what you love, it doesn't feel like work, and living in passion makes you feel like you're on fire,
Totally.
and who doesn't want to feel like they're on fire inside? So
yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit more about your podcast. When do you air your podcast and stuff so our listeners can come in and listen? Do you have anything coming up that people can sign up for? I'm excited for anyone to go and join you. The boot camps are really fun. I do them. I think they're great at home stuff. I mean, it's really amazing. So any final things that you want to add in before we end today?
Thank you so much for your kind words. I have a podcast. I call it a personal development kind of podcast. It's just like things we're talking about right now. It's for the positive mom who wants to make herself better and, get good things planted in her mind and not all the other things that we could consume. So my podcasts go live every Monday morning to kick off your week. They're usually about 20-30 minutes. I always say, listen while you're getting ready or while you're working out, because I'm always listening to podcasts while I'm doing something mindless. Maybe you are too, Christina.
Yeah, sometimes I do. Yeah, I have my earpod or my AirPods in my ear, and I'm always listening to something while I'm playing with the kids or I don't know, Coco Melon's on in the background.
That's a little bit about the podcast. And then I do lead the monthly boot camp group. So I do have one coming up here the start of the year. The focus for that one, it's on our new program called Job One, which is making you your number one priority, which that's kind of my goal, And so I'm just very aligned with the program, and that feels really good. It's 5 days a week, 20-minute workouts for 4 weeks. And I know I said that really fast.
I was like, okay, I got it.
5 days a week, 20 minutes a day for a month.
It's like 20 minutes goes by so fast.
It does, and I like this because it's tangible, and I'm starting it on Monday myself just to kind of try it out. But I know that I'm going to finish because it's like 20, I can do that, and the weekends off or whatever, like, maybe you're going to add in a workout or go for a walk or hang out with your kids or something. But I just love when women can feel successful. And I feel like this allows them to do that. So then we're in a private app and we're all checking in, and, I'm guiding it as the coach, making sure everyone is there and showing up, because oftentimes accountability is the missing piece. Like we all know what to do. There's a plethora of health and fitness info and resources out there, but a matter of doing it is it's different. It takes a level of accountability and commitment that most of us don't have on our own. Totally. So that's what I try to give to others.
Yeah. Well, I think having a community is key. And that's one of the reasons why I do love the Beachbody, is because it does give you a community. You can keep track of your stuff. You have other women supporting you as well. And it really is fabulous for anyone who does want to move forward, take the next step in their life, focus on themselves, give themselves 20 minutes for 3 times a week, whichever you decide to do for yourself. I think it's amazing opportunity. If anyone's interested, please go down and check out Molly's website. It should be in the link below. And
I love that you said that, Christina. One thing I maybe should have touched on just in general is surrounding yourself with other like-minded people. Yes. And I think social media, it gets bad rap or whatever, but it has been so helpful to find, that's how you and I connected.
I know. I've been following you for like 3 years, and I was like, this girl's killing it.
It can be such a gift to connect to other like-minded people. There's that quote, you're the average of the 5 people that you spend your time with. And I like that quote, but I'm always like, well, I'm with my husband and my kids. I'm not really with people, but I get the concept of the quote. I just think when you can find those people who are like you, trying to level up. Maybe they're not exactly like you, but they're in that same season of life, they're trying to be better, do better. I think these groups can be a really good, connection point for that, besides just the masses of social media. That's where it can start, but it kind of funnels in the people who are like us, and want to level up and just show up our best every day.
Yeah, we got to understand not everyone's journey is the same. Everyone's
Totally.
goals are different, but what we all have in common is leveling up and being better
Yes.
than who we were yesterday and
Yeah.
showing up to be our best selves, because why not? We only have one life to live. Why not be the best person that we could be?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the
1000%.
best gift you can give to yourself,
Yeah.
I feel like.
I love it.
Yeah, well, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming on. I hope that this was inspiring to the audience as well. I'm sure it was. I know I feel inspired. And don't forget, like I said, check out Molly's website. It'll be linked below. She has her boot camp, so you can sign up. And if you feel like coaching or doing anything like that, I'm sure she'll give you more information on how to level up and give back to others. All right. Well, thank you so much. And I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thanks,
And I will
Christina.
talk to you soon. Okay.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.